We continue to track Hurricane Sandy, but look what it did here in Haiti. This video from Port-au-Prince, where Sandy, as you can see here, left a lot of structures in shambles and some crumbling on their own, while others were just so unsafe they had to be torn down by hand.
Very sad, and now concern grows along the East Coast, so it's time to start watching Sandy very closely, an unprecedented storm that is already making waves in Florida, and this is just the beginning.
That's right, we have live team coverage tonight tracking Hurricane Sandy, which is still a Category 2 hurricane, but it looks like it may take on a different shape or a different form as it heads for the Northeast, impacting millions of people before Halloween night. You're watching Weather Center Live from the Atlanta headquarters.
And an extended show tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Crystal Ager.
And I'm Kelly Cass. It's now 10:30 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 9:30 in St. Louis.
All right, here's what we know right now and some of the areas we are most concerned about. This is where we stand with a Category 2 hurricane on our hands. We still have 100-mile-per-hour sustained winds moving to the northwest at 17 miles per hour. We will be getting an update from the National Hurricane Center within the next 30 minutes on Sandy's progress.
Yeah, even though it looks like it may be doing some weakening through the Bahama Islands, we're still very concerned that as it moves up the East Coast, this could actually, as I mentioned, take on another form and impact so many people with power outages, very strong winds. So obviously the action has already been taken to prepare for Sandy here in the Bahamas, but we're still on alert mode along the east coast of Florida because the worst is yet to be seen. We're thinking tomorrow the winds could be sustained as high as 30 miles per hour, perhaps gusting even higher than that.
And we're also talking about dangerous surf. We've got the rip current threat across the coast of Florida. Tropical storm warnings and watches are out now from parts of the Keys all the way up into Jacksonville. So something you certainly need to pay attention to as we head through the day tomorrow. And we have added this aware category across the coastal North Carolina area and up into Maine, all the way into New England. So it's a widespread area, one of the most populated areas of the country, where we think we could see an extreme storm. Increasing, confidence today in just how bad this could be.
And more than 50 million people potentially impacted by Sandy. So, a lot of folks are starting to catch on. Sandy is something we don't want to have to reckon with, but our hurricane specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, joining us now from the Global Forecast Center. And Greg, it looks like it's pretty certain that we'll have some kind of impact there in the Northeast eventually.
Yeah, I would say that's about right. We're starting to see more and more confidence in the forecast that indeed Sandy will make a direct impact in the Northeast. Even that may seem like a long way out early next week, there is growing confidence in the forecast that that will indeed occur. So let's look and see what we have right now. We are looking at the 8 o'clock advisory. A new one will be coming in the next few minutes, in the next 15, 20 minutes very likely. This was at 8 o'clock this evening, 100-mile-per-hour storm, 965 in the pressure, and moving north-northwest at 18. Here's where the core of the system is right here, and that's about the center is about 250 miles east of the Florida coast. Moving again north-northwest to 17. That's roughly paralleling the Florida coast. And we do expect that tomorrow the impacts along the Florida coast will be their worst. Generally a little bit worse than they were today. I think we'll see wind gusts, more widespread wind gusts, closer to 50 miles per hour tomorrow, with rain showers, of course, along all up and down the coast, very likely from Jacksonville down to Miami. Now, where's it going to go? Very likely over the next couple of days. Each one of these lines is a different forecast of where Sandy's center is likely to go, and so the closer these lines are together, that means the forecasts are agreeing with each other. So what we're seeing here is a high confidence in the forecasts that it will move very closely parallel to the east coast of Florida over the next 24 to 36 hours, then take a right turn just a little bit, and then move parallel again to the coast of the United States. And then this is where we need to start being concerned significantly for the folks in the Northeast, because there's a growing number of these lines that's showing up in these models that suggest a direct impact, that the center will move very close and come on shore here in the northeast part of the United States. Now, again, it's important to not focus on the center, because by the time it moves up that far, we think it'll be a very large storm, perhaps with winds as tropical storm force extending out hundreds of miles from where the center makes landfall. So let's have a look more closely at the northeast, and you can see some of the forecasts have it coming in as far south as Virginia Beach, and some of them farther to the north, perhaps even in down east Maine. But really, you have to look at this and say to yourself, there's a cluster of model solutions here that brings Sandy in that general direction. So in this region, we need to be more concerned perhaps than ever before that this is an evolving situation that needs more and more attention as these models come into better agreement with passing time. Now here we go. Here are impacts for the Carolinas. Rain increases. Here's the time on Saturday. Here we go. Saturday, rain increases, winds 20 to 30, gusts to 40, anywhere from Cape Hatteras all the way down to Charleston, perhaps even farther south than that. And then on Sunday, we're looking at impacts along the Carolina coast of Virginia, winds 25 to 35, gusts to 50, and then farther to the northeast early next week. Here we go. Very large area. Look at this, of 30 to 50 mile per hour winds, gusts perhaps to 75. Definitely flooding rains with some coastal flooding, beach erosion, and power outage. And we will have much more on this as the data keeps coming in, and we will stay tuned to the Weather Channel for more of these details.